I woke up under the weather today and decided to make me my healing miso soup. To do this, I'm using some dried porcini mushrooms, some soft tofu, plenty of onions, one scotch bonnet. I'm using a red scotch bonnet, but I'm not gonna grind it. Plenty of ginger, garlic, and some turmeric. To start with, I'm gonna bring a pot of water to a boil and then wash my mushrooms first before adding it to my boiling water. I'm gonna go in with some dried powdered ingredients, starting with some powdered onions, because I want my fresh ingredients to go in later on so that I can actually chew them. Some powdered garlic and some powdered ginger. I'm gonna put this and let this cook with the mushrooms as they rehydrate for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm gonna stir everything again and then start adding the rest of my ingredients. First up, I'm going in with my onions. I had 3 large onions, one white, one yellow, and one red. I need all the onions for my healing today. So I'm gonna put in my onions. After that, I'm adding my scotch bonnet. I didn't grind it because I'm just gonna press it into my plate when I eat. Then my garlic, which I just chopped up roughly, ginger and turmeric. I didn't grind anything because I want to chew my spices. And then I add my tofu, which I cubed, the soft tofu. And then I'm gonna add the star of the dish, my miso paste. Miso is fermented soy and is very good for your gut health. I'm feeling under the weather and I need something to heal my body. I wanted a light soup which I can drink all day and heal my body. That's why I have a lot of ginger, garlic, onion just chopped up so I can chew that stuff and heal. So I'm gonna mix my miso with some of the sauce to break it up into a paste, a lighter paste, before I add it to the soup. I used about 1.5 tablespoons of miso. So depending, if you want to try this, depending on how much soup you have, you can use miso to taste. Yes, just use however much you need for the quantity of soup you're making, and you taste as you go. After breaking up my miso, I poured it into the boiling pot and then I mixed everything together. Be mindful that miso adds salt. Depending on the type of miso you have, it might have a lot of salt or less salt, so always taste as you go. So after tasting, it needed a little more salt, and instead of adding more miso, I just added some Bragg's liquid aminos, which is like a soy sauce. And to give it a little bit of tang and sweet, I added some rice vinegar. That's about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons, and then I mixed it up together. After mixing everything together, I closed the pot and let it cook again, this time for 7 minutes before I add the next ingredients. After cooking for 7 minutes, it was time to put in some seaweed. Today I had some chopped up dried wakame. This is very great for those who don't eat any fish or animal protein. You just have some iodine. That's how we get our iodine or iodine, through seaweed. After stirring everything together, I closed the pot and let it cook just for 5 minutes because the wakame doesn't need too much time to rehydrate. It's been 5 minutes and my food is done. I opened it and tasted for salt and it was perfect. So it was time to add some greens. I didn't have any bok choy, but I just went outside and harvested some fresh kale from my little garden, and I washed it and chopped it up, and that's what I'll be using to have some extra nutrients. I just mix it up, and then to make this into a complete meal, I have some instant ramen noodles. I'll just throw that in. I've already turned off my fire. I'll throw that in and then cover the pot and let that rehydrate for about 8 minutes. After waiting for 8 minutes for my ramen noodles to soften, it was time to serve me some healing miso soup. So I grabbed a very big bowl and I served myself some of the ramen noodles and a lot of soup. I made sure I had everything in my bowl, some tofu, some mushrooms, and then plenty of soup, and then topped it with my scotch bonnet, which I'm going to press in my bowl. If you are feeling under the weather, try my healing miso soup to boost your immune system and to feel well. Thanks for watching. Bye.